Hillary Rodham Clinton.
Coming out in her 2022 clothing line of pantsuits. You can get yours right now at RussianCollusion.com.
Wonderful to be back here in person.
Why in the hell would you say some stupid shit like that when it's a Democratic Party who's been supporting lockdowns?
With so many friends and former colleagues and fellow Democrats.
If there's any Democrats up in there, don't leave out pedophiles. Next!
And here in this great city, I want to thank our new mayor, Eric Adams, for his hands-on, energetic, no-nonsense leadership.
Who? The racist Eric Adams?
Today in the police department, I kicked those crackers' ass, man. I was unbelievable in the police department when you keep one of the blacks in law enforcement.
I don't want to say the C word because I don't want to get cancel culture later on when niggas can't say the word cracker anymore. Oops. I might get cancel culture for that later on. They might take that out of context. Like Eric Adams.
I'm a black man, that's the mayor. But my story has been interpreted by people that don't look like me. We got to be honest about that.
So now your ass is playing a race card.
How many blacks are in the editorial boards? How many blacks are determining how these stories are being written?
So now the news reporters are systematically racist.
And my role as mayor is being interpreted through the prisms of your realities and not mine.
Because y'all the racist motherfuckers, not me.
You're not writing stories for people who were arrested and beat by police officers. You're not writing stories from those who are dealing with high crime. Diversify from those who are dealing with high crime. Diversify your newsroom so I can look out and see people that look like me.
Well, let's hope they're not talking like yo jive talking ass. Next! Enough with you. We got enough racism on this skit with Hillary Rodham Clinton foul ass.
And thanks also to my friends and our senators, Chuck Schumer and Kirsten Gillibrand, our entire congressional delegation, for fighting so hard for New York and making progress despite the obstacles.
What progress is that? The lying progress? Because it's awfully funny how Donald Trump get a subpoena 10 minutes before your ass get on stage.
Developing news that's just happened. We've been talking about the New York Attorney General, Letitia James.
And let's hear it for our Attorney General, Tish James.
In court today, and the judge's ruling is now in.
10 minutes before Hillary Clinton's speech.
That New York judge ruling former President Trump will be forced to testify.
While Hunter Biden and Joe Biden fraud get covered up.
In that civil suit against the Trump Organization, lawyers for former President Trump, remember, wanted to block the subpoena. That is what the arguments, the discussion was today.
The day Hillary Clinton held a speech in New York, the same city where Donald Trump is facing charges. Ain't that a bitch? Next! This was obviously a setup. Why else would this bitch be speaking in New York?
Because, my friends, we need smart, effective, principled leadership now more than ever. Not only in our state, but also in our country and the world.
Because you know Joe Biden ain't capable. We tired of mandates, inflation is on the rise, and we're about to go to war with Russia.
Just think about it. We have lost 65,000 New Yorkers to the pandemic.
And more under Joe Biden than Donald Trump. That has to be a shot at Joe Biden. If it wasn't, I'm going to say it is.
That is a lot of grieving families and broken hearts.
The hearts that Joe Biden said that he was going to save from the virus.
And our economy, as you know so well, took a real hit. With businesses closing, jobs disappearing, everything costing more than it used to.
And that has to be a shot at Joe Biden also, because who else can you blame for fucking up the country? She would say Joe if she could.
And we have faced these challenges here in New York at a time when our nation is deeply and dangerously divided.
And Joe Biden didn't bridge no gap to no racism or stop no virus. That nigga spread a racism and added fuel on the flame, and then they tripled the cases of Wuhan.
And I know many of us hoped that defeating Trump would start to heal our divisions. I certainly did.
Okay, well, bitch, what's your opinion of Joe Biden? Because Donald Trump been out of office a whole year, and things done got worse under Joe.
When the Republican Party officially embraces violent insurrection as legitimate political discourse.
Bitch, hold on. Next! Do you and Joe Biden got the same damn speechwriter?
We are in uncharted territory. And make no mistake, our adversaries around the world are watching.
They showing the fuck is. That's why Russia is invading Ukraine right now. Bitch, Black Lives Matter is bailing out criminals when we need protection from the police.
Good evening, I'm Vicki George.
And I'm Rick Van Hoos. Just 2 days after police say he shot at a Louisville mayoral candidate, a local activist is back home tonight on house arrest.
Local activist my ass. He was from Black Lives Matter.
WOKY's Stefan Dingle was at the Hall of Justice as Quintez Brown walked out of jail.
After 2 days in jail, Quintez Brown will await his next court hearing at home. This comes after the Louisville Community Bail Fund paid for his bond, $100,000 full cash.
Local community bail fund my ass. That was Black Lives Matter. I bet you if the white supremacists donated that to the white supremacists, they'll say it was a white supremacist.
Republicans are defending coup plotters. They're curbing voting rights at precisely the moment when democracy needs champions.
The Democrats are trying to scare the shit out of people with democracy.
When we should be standing together against autocracies like Russia and China.
Hold on, bitch. What about Biden or Trudeau?
January 6th last year was a gift to them because they know something we need to remember. America is only as strong as our unity and our democracy allows us to be.
And if you don't vote for us, your democracy will be under attack. Like your democracy ain't getting the shit beat out of it right now.
Is the end of our democracy in sight?
And I believe that the election of Joe Biden essentially paused our descent into just the complete upending of our democracy, but we are not out of it.
So Donald Trump's comeback, it's the end of our democracy.
We might see the end of democracy in the coming years.
So you're saying it's still possible we could lose our democracy here in the United States? Without a doubt.
If Americans lose faith in the veracity and honor of our elections, it's the beginning of end of our democracy.
I think that could be the end of our democracy. Not to be too, pointed about it, but I want people to understand.
Hillary Clinton said a couple of weeks ago that if he runs and wins, that could be the end of our democracy. Do you share that fear?
I do.
Well, I don't want to be overly alarmist, but I think we should be alarmed because potentially this could be the end of American democracy. I never thought I'd be saying something like that.
Wait a minute, nigga. Your ass is on MSNBC. You liable to say anything that's lying or racist. You know what? Next, back to Hillary Clinton, the evil one.
That's why New York must be not just the home of the Statue of Liberty. We must be the defenders of liberty. Not just a laboratory of democracy, but a protector of democracy.
Well, most niggas don't even know what democracy is. All we know is it's supposed to be racist, according to the Democrats.
And we must reject the big lie about the 2020 election and the cover-up of the insurrection of last January 6th. And we can't get distracted, whether it's by the latest culture war nonsense or some new right-wing lie on Fox or Facebook.
Ooh, I'm glad that bitch didn't say YouTube because that's why I do my videos.
By the way, they've been coming after me again lately, in case you might have noticed.
Bitch, but not like you came after them or Jeffrey Epstein.
It's funny, the more trouble Trump gets into, the wilder the charges and conspiracy theories about me seem to get.
No, it's more like the more Democrats Donald Trump exposed, the more cases he seemed to get.
Fox leads the charge with accusations against me, counting on their audience to fall for it again.
You know, liberals watch Fox News now because ain't nobody watching no damn CNN.
And as an aside, they're getting awfully close to actual malice in their attacks.
And you know what happened to people that go after the Clintons? They get Jeffrey Epstein.
But as I said, don't get distracted. Don't let the extremes of any or either side throw us off course. Focus on the solutions that matter to voters, not the slogans that only matter on Twitter.
What, bitch? Lock her up?
Let's offer an alternative vision that inspires and motivates. Let's show that democracy works.
First, you gotta show us what the hell democracy look like.
That it delivers results for people and makes life better, fairer, and more prosperous for everyone. That's what Joe Biden and Kamala Harris are trying to do every single day.
Well, them motherfuckers failed miserably.
Democrats are fighting for safer communities and healthier families, with more opportunities for our kids and schools that are both open and fully funded. Democrats are fighting for better jobs and higher wages for everyone, for health care and housing that doesn't break the bank, for making life affordable, not just for those at the top. Democrats are fighting for cleaner air to breathe and water to drink, for common sense that tells us vaccines work and climate change is real. Democrats are fighting for the rule of law and for judges who follow it, for the right to vote, the cornerstone of our democracy, for the right to organize, because we need unions now more than ever, for the right for women to make our own health care decisions.
And Democrats are 0-21 in all their damn fights. Unless you call that infrastructure bill a win, that was more like a draw.
New York and the country has an important choice to make because Republicans have a very different agenda.
Yeah, bitch, giving people their freedom back.
Republicans will take tax cuts, like the child tax credit, away from hardworking families and give them to billionaires. Republicans will claim they're on the side of parents and family values, but they will do nothing for actual parents or families.
Governor Youngkin will second that emotion, and the parents will too.
Nothing on child care, nothing on paid leave, nothing to help working moms and dads get by and get ahead. They will do nothing to invest in our schools or make college more affordable. They'll ban books, but do nothing about guns.
What party is this bitch talking about?
They'll make it harder for people to vote, but easier for big corporations to bust unions. They'll let polluters trash our environment and let Donald Trump trash our democracy.
Not worse than you help trash Hades, bitch.
That's why I intend to work my heart out to elect Democrats up and down the ticket this November.
Including your damn self.
And that is why I am so happy to support Kathy Hochul for a full term as governor of New York.
Because if you see who support her, you also can see who support you. It's like knocking out two birds with one stone.
You know, it's been 22 years since I stood before this convention, receiving your votes to endorse my candidacy for the Senate.
And now I want your endorsement at a run for another presidential election.
New York took a chance on me back then.
And I want you to take another chance on me now.
Now a lot has changed. A lot has changed since then.
Yeah, found out that your ass spied on Donald Trump campaign You better hope your ass not in prison in 2024. Damn the White House. Shout out to the executive producer, Miss Beth Roberts. Happy birthday to you. Also, shout out to Tom. Hopefully you're satisfied with a couple of videos today, Tom. Also, shout out to my boy, James Touche, and the one and only Maisha Greenwood.